Welcome to Eat by La Travel. My name is Jenny. Kevin's behind the camera. We are two Mexican Americans who moved to Mexico from Chicago in January 2021. Earlier this year, we released video tutorials detailing the process for becoming a Mexican national via Mexican heritage or having parents or grandparents born in Mexico. So if you're a US born person with Mexican heritage and you're interested in having dual citizenship with the US and Mexico, be sure to check out our video series with tips and steps to get your Mexican citizenship. So feel free to count on us to be your resource for all things related to moving to or traveling to Mexico as a dual citizen. You can subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at Eat by La Travel or Facebook as well. If it's not already obvious by the name of our channel, we make food vlogs, we love to dance, and we make vlogs about Mexican culture, stories, and history, things that we necessarily didn't have the chance to learn while growing up in Chicago and are now learning as we venture and travel through Mexico in search of home. So to get to today's video, we want to talk about going through the airport with two passports, one American passport and a Mexican passport. The first time I traveled with both passports, it was really confusing and awkward, so I want to help you minimize any stress and confusion in advance. And in my particular situation, I have two different names on my passport, so I'm going to be sharing helpful information, particularly for women who are married and have changed their last name in the United States. First, here are the two mistakes that I made that you should avoid. Number one, not bringing both passports. It seems very simple, very basic, but when you're traveling abroad with a Mexican passport, do not leave your American passport at home. You're gonna need that one to re-enter the United States. And number two, when you purchase your airline tickets, use the information on your Mexican passport. Not all flight reservations and purchases will ask for a passport number, but if it does, use your name and passport number from your Mexican passport and still travel with both. But as you're purchasing your tickets, use the Mexican one. Here's why. When you are buying your airline tickets to visit Mexico, you'll be able to avoid the tourism tax, which is around $25 because you're buying your tickets as a Mexican citizen. Another reason you want to do this is because when you arrive to the airport in Mexico, there will be a line at immigration for foreigners and a line for Mexican nationals, and I will almost guarantee you if you're going to a tourist location, the line for Mexican nationals is almost always much shorter and faster. And yes, you can bring anyone that is traveling with you to that line, even if they're not Mexican nationals. This footage is from September 2020, before Kevin got his Mexican citizenship. We didn't know he could come to the Mexican national line with me at that time, so he went to the visitors line and I went to the Mexican line at Customs and Immigration. Another thing to note about going through Customs and Immigration as a Mexican citizen versus an American citizen is having to complete the entry form. Foreigners have to complete an entry form that will be scanned or stamped, and they have to hold on to that form, and they must have that when they leave from the airport when they're leaving the country. Mexican nationals, you don't have to worry about keeping track of that little piece of paper, and it's just one less thing to worry about. And just to reiterate, if you're a married woman in the US, you do not have to update your Mexican passport with your married name. I actually went to the Mexican consulate thinking I needed to do that, and the attendant almost laughed in my face, and then I laughed at myself afterwards, because changing last names and adopting the last name of your husband, if you're a woman, is not a thing in Mexico, and I actually didn't know that. So she told me that, she asked why I wanted to update my passport, and I said, well, I'm married, my American passport has my married name, and my Mexican passport no longer matches my American passport, so I thought I needed to make everything match. And she just laughed and said, no, if you change your last name to your husband's, that makes you his sister in Mexico. and with that, I was like, okay, then I will save myself the $130 that I was about to spend and just travel with two passports with two different names on it. Not only do you not want to leave your American passport in the US and make sure we bring that with you, you also want to have both passports within reach when you are traveling through the airports. Funny story, when I entered Brazil as a Mexican, which, by the way, when I entered Brazil in 2016, it was required that Americans purchase a tourist visa of around $100 to enter Brazil. However, Mexicans did not need to purchase a tourist visa, so I saved myself that money. So when I entered Brazil, I entered as a Mexican, and when I was leaving Brazil, I was so used to having my Mexican passport. At some point we had crossed over from Brazil into Argentina, and I always just got used to only using my Mexican passport. So when we were heading back to the US and we were checking in at the airport, again, I brought out my Mexican passport and they asked me for my green card. And I freaked out. I was like, what do you mean? I need a green card to go home? And I remembered, I was like, oh wait, I'm a citizen. Wait, I have another passport. And I brought it back out. I was like, here you go, here's the other one. That doesn't have to happen to you. Avoid that mistake, avoid that stress. Just make sure you have them both and always present both. Even if they don't ask for both, they'll open the one that they need. You're just avoid confusion and stress and just have both of them in hand. When you're getting ready to re-enter the United States and you're at the airport abroad, again, you're gonna wanna check in with both passports. Because if you entered as a Mexican, they need to see how you got in, and they also need to make sure that you are legally allowed to re-enter the United States. All right, so what to expect when you arrive at Immigration and Customs in the United States after having traveled abroad as a Mexican. If you're like me and you have a different name on your Mexican passport, that's gonna be the name on your airline ticket, and it's not gonna match your American passport. So all you need to do is hand them both at the same time, and if they ask any questions, just simply say, one's my married name, one's my maiden name. That's it. I've never had issues. I hope you don't have issues. If you have a different experience, please comment down below. I'd like to know if anyone has had a different experience or has had some kind of challenges that maybe I haven't. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. And again, if you're not subscribed, I invite you to subscribe to our channel to follow along the journey. We cover topics related to the Mexican-American experience in Mexico, how to open up a bank account as a Mexican-American citizen, how to deal with Mocuzuma's revenge. We make travel guides and cover cultural content for things that we wish we would have learned when we were younger. Here's a quick sample of one of our recent vlogs on the Mexican-American experience in Mexico.
This is strange. Americans are usually on time. They must be here. Oh my God, it's them! Hi guys, my name is Karen and you must be Kevin and Jenny, right?
That's us.
We're Jenny and Kevin.
What?
Oh my God, guys, I didn't know you were pochos.
What?
What did she say?
Hell no.
Round 1, fight!
So that's it from me today. I look forward to reading your comments. Se cuidan, se bañan y nos vemos hasta la próxima. Chao.